Okay, so picture this. On one side, you have an ancient Roman war dog. Seriously. And on the other, you've got that iconic spotted firehouse dog. Now, what happens when you mix them? You get one of the rarest, most talked about designer dogs out there, the Cane Corso Dalmatian mix. It's this incredible combination of raw power and standout elegance. But what does that actually mean for a dog? What do you get? Well, that's what we're here to unpack.
So be honest, what popped into your head first? A super buff, more muscular Dalmatian? Or maybe a Cane Corso that just ran through a paint splatter factory? The reality is, it's this really cool, head-turning mix of both. And it creates a dog that's pretty much guaranteed to stop people in their tracks.
Now, if you're on TikTok or Instagram, you've probably seen this dog pop up. It's got this catchy nickname, the Corsimation. And a big reason for all the buzz, they are seriously hard to find. Like, just finding a good picture of one can be a mission in itself.
And that rarity, it really gets you thinking. What actually happens when you take the DNA of a Roman war dog and smash it together with a dog built to run alongside carriages for miles and miles? It's a wild combination. So to really figure this out, we've got to go back to the source. Let's look at the parent breeds.
And man, this is truly a tale of two completely different breeds. You've got the serious, stoic guardian on one hand, and, well, the super energetic coach dog on the other. Their backstories couldn't be more different, and that's exactly what makes this mix so incredibly interesting and, let's be honest, complex.
Yeah, and you can really see that difference when you just look at the raw data. The Cane Corso, a huge, calm guardian from Italy. The Dalmatian, a zippy, high-energy coach dog with roots that are still debated but point to Croatia. I mean, from their original job description to their general vibe, they're practically total opposites.
Let's start with the Cane Corso, because its history is straight out of a movie. We're talking ancestors that were these massive mastiffs from ancient Greece. The Romans brought them to Italy to be, get this, war dogs. For hundreds of years, their whole job was hunting huge animals like wild boar and being absolutely fearless guardians. They almost disappeared completely, but in the 70s, a dedicated group of fans basically saved the entire breed from extinction. It's an incredible story.
Then you've got the Dalmatian. And honestly, nobody's 100% sure where they came from. It's a total mystery. I mean, we found paintings of spotted dogs in ancient Egyptian tombs. How cool is that? Of course, we all know them as coach dogs, the ones who ran alongside carriages for what felt like forever, keeping the horses calm. But they've done it all. Firehouse mascot, the famous Budweiser Clydesdale's buddy, they've even been circus performers, a real jack of all trades.
So just to recap here, you've got the sheer brute force of the Cane Corso. We're talking a dog descended from gladiatorial war dogs. And on the other side, you have the sleek, athletic Dalmatian, a dog built like a marathon runner. It's a wild contrast, right? A true study in opposites.
Okay, so what happens when you throw all of that into a genetic blender? Well, it's pretty much a lottery. There's no set recipe. Let's break down what you could actually expect if you were thinking about bringing a Corsimation home.
First off, forget about a standard look. It just doesn't exist. One pup might come out built like a tank, just like its Corso parent. Another might be all lean and leggy like a Dalmatian, or, land somewhere right in the middle. And the coat, just as much of a surprise. But you do often see this really striking pattern with big, solid patches, and then those classic spots mixed in.
And to give you an idea of just how variable we're talking, just look at the weight. You could end up with a dog that's 45 pounds or one that's over 100. That is a massive difference. You have to be ready for either end of that spectrum, for sure. And the temperament? Yup, another genetic lottery. You might get that calm, almost royal vibe from the Cane Corso, or you could get the super playful, bouncing off the walls energy of the Dalmatian. But here's the thing. There are some key traits they both share. They're both incredibly smart, super loving with their family, and tend to be a little wary of strangers. You can really see those guardian instincts coming through there.
So this all leads us to the big question of what it's really like to own one. Because this is so much more than just a cool-looking, spotty dog. It's a massive commitment, and it definitely takes a certain kind of person to handle it. And let's just be crystal clear on this, because every expert will tell you the same thing. This is not a dog for a first-time owner. No way. You're mixing the powerful, assertive personality of the Corso with the endless energy of the Dalmatian. You absolutely need to know what you're doing when it comes to dog training and behavior.
So what kind of training actually works for a dog like this?
It's all about positive reinforcement. See, even though the cane Corso looks like a tough guy, they're actually pretty sensitive dogs. And this mix is probably going to get that trait. That means they do amazing with praise, treats, and someone who's a calm, fair leader. Harsh corrections, that's just not going to work here. It'll backfire.
And your training timeline is absolutely critical. Those first few months, from 8 to 16 weeks, are all about one thing: socialization. I mean, you need to introduce them to as many people, places, and things as you possibly can to build a confident, not fearful, dog. After that, you've got to nail down those leash skills before they get strong enough to drag you down the street. And then you hit the teenage years. Oh yeah, they're going to test you. So you've got to be firm, but you've got to be consistent.
And exercise? Oh boy. Plan on at least 1 to 2 hours of real solid physical activity every single day. And that's not like a friendly suggestion, it's a must. A bored Corsomation is a recipe for a destroyed house. Trust me.
Now, let's talk health, because you really need to be on top of things. This mix can inherit issues from both parents. We're talking serious stuff like bloat, which is a life-threatening stomach issue common in big, deep-chested dogs like the Corso, and hip dysplasia. Then from the Dalmatian side, you have to watch out for deafness and kidney or urinary stones. And epilepsy is also something to be aware of.
All right, so we've talked history, what they look like, their personality, and the huge responsibility that comes with them. So that brings us to the bottom line, the big verdict. Is this absolutely stunning but very demanding dog actually the right one for you?
And this is where you have to be really honest with yourself. Do you have the experience? Do you have the space? And maybe most importantly, do you have the time every single day that a big, strong, and super energetic dog like this requires?
Let's just lay it all out. Pros and cons. On the pro side, you get an amazing protector who's super smart and will be unbelievably loyal to you and your family. But the cons? Well, they can be real deal breakers. We're talking nonstop socialization, massive exercise needs, the fact that they're not for beginners, and you might even run into trouble with things like breed bans in certain apartments or cities.
Here's the takeaway. In the right home, a well-socialized Corsomation can be an incredible, gentle, loving family dog. But what is that right home? It's one with experienced owners, maybe some older kids who know how to act around a big dog, and this is a big one, a securely fenced yard. Let me just say it plainly. This is not a dog for an apartment.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about. This specific dog is super rare and, as we've just covered, incredibly demanding. Meanwhile, there are so many amazing, large, mixed-breed dogs sitting in shelters right now, just waiting for a home. So maybe the better path forward is to find a similar, powerful, energetic mix that's already waiting for you at a local shelter. It's definitely a question worth considering.